TF2 has incredible aesthetics, gameplay, story, characters, everything you could ask for. It's a great game. But I hate this. I hate these evil creatures. What am I talking about? Recently, I was curious if TF2 had speedruns, a popular challenge to beat a game as quickly as possible, and it turns out we do. TF2's main category is the new player tutorial, but it's pretty boring and tedious. Thankfully, there is an alternative, a bonus category where you just speedrun a single round. So I devised a plan. Because nobody speedruns TF2, it should be easy for me to just waltz in, collect a few Mickey Mouse world records, and proudly proclaim I'm a world champion. Very simple, very easy. It actually genuinely shouldn't even be that hard, because take for example, the current Dustbowl world record. The guy dies on the first stage and gets dragged past the finish line by his bot team. And he ran heavy where the fights were long, slow grinds to victory. So, piece of cake. Genuinely, how hard could it be? On stage 1, out the setup gates, all I need to do is walk out. Oh, fuck. Okay, so to be fair, the bots weren't made for speedrunning, and I don't blame Valve, but good god I hate them and it was maddening dealing with all their jank. I did play enough to create a solid speedrun route though, so here's what I had figured out. For stage 1, pray. No, I'm serious. The most effective strat against the sniper dropping my medic was to just hope he doesn't feel like standing outside the gate, and instead at his other spot, the tunnel exit, where he can't see us. I spent a bunch of time trying to see if I could just kill him, but I couldn't find anything that felt good enough. For how far back he is, and how quickly the headshot happens, your options for counterplay are very limited. Demo can charge a sticky as the gates open, but one sticky isn't enough to kill, and the sniper can drop your medic before the sticky or pipe lands. Stock soldier rockets aren't great at this range. Direct hit is more realistic, but you're now all in on this sniper problem at the cost of literally everything else. The direct hit will struggle to quickly kill the rest of red team and cap the points. You could swap classes after killing the sniper to finish the rest of the map, which is a good idea, if not for the massive penalty that comes of that. Bots are insanely particular about the perfect team composition, and swapping between any class triggers a cataclysmic team-wide panic. Even if they're in spawn, swapping from soldier to demo can cause 4 bots to suicide because you made the team have free demo man, and that's just absolutely unforgivable. So they suicide, trying to swap to another class to adjust around your class change. I also did try going sniper and just shooting him back, but racing him is not realistic. In setup time, staring at a bot prompts them to taunt, and you can sometimes get the sniper stuck in a taunt as the gates open, but I couldn't find any good way to consistently make this happen. You can hug right and peek from behind the hut to safely counter-snipe him. But this got shelved anyways, because on top of the class switching hysteria causing your team to be down 4, if you take too long, your bot team will all charge out the right side and get destroyed, which is not good. You need to swap back in time to pull your medics to the left, which then pulls the rest of your team left side to have them go out the left exits. And finally, there is technically a strat where you hope your bot sniper decides to go left, then also wins the duel, but this was ridiculously unreliable. So this is why we pray. Reset the game until red sniper stops mogging us. Exit left on demo. Hopefully the house is empty, which gives you free reign to put down 4 stickies and reload. When you're ready, tap the control point, which will trigger all of red team to rush through the tiny door to stop you, to which you simply keep laying stickies to wipe red team. Make sure to strategically dead your stickies such that you drop red's Ubers. And after taking the first point, it's just a few sticky jumps to finish the first stage. Before I settled on this plan, I gave Pyro a shot. Air blasting to keep the bots out of the first point is doable, but now what? You still have a red team to get through to cap point 2. On to stage 2. Here, before the gates even open, there's actually already a problem. If you're not a soldier, pyro, or heavy, your medics will not follow you out of spawn, which sucks because demo will be great on this stage as well. They will react to you calling medic in spawn, but as soon as your pinky toe leaves the spawn room, you become nothing to them. Thankfully though, it's not too hard to get around this. What you can do is go pyro, get their attention and make them taunt in the back corner. Then jump back up and quickly swap to the class you wanted. If you get their attention before they make it back into spawn, they stop being racist. So with that taken care of, what's the plan for when the gates open? My first idea was to go up the left as a pyro and forcefully cap the point, air blasting them away. But this didn't work because the red engineers always have sentries covering the point. Pyro doesn't have a good answer to that. You could run up to flamethrower the sentries, but now you're on the low ground, need to climb back up the cap, and sitting in the middle of the entire red team, which will not end well. If you don't do that, you don't have ranged tools to destroy the sentries, so overall, Pyro just doesn't work. Demo up the left is somewhat workable, destroying the sentries is easy for him, but going up left actually still sucks. The problem is that your medic is really unreliable. They can usually nail the climb in 3-ish jumps, but sometimes it's an absolute disaster. They get stuck, can't Uber you, and you die. So in the end, I settled for going out the right with the sticky jumper. Uber to take down the sentries, and with them gone, you can quickly cap with the pain train, since your team will distract and a bunch of red can also get stuck. Set up the sticky jump to the main tunnels and cap the last point. If necessary, when you cap the first point, the bots like to jump up the barrels to stop you. You can hang off the edge to body block them and it can mess them up. And now, stage 3. The strategy I went with is stickies yet again, but there wasn't really much of a choice. The problem is that the red team has 3 main threats, that being the 2 sentry guns, the 2 Ubers, and the heavy. And because this map is just a straight funnel of doom, there's no fancy tricks to be pulled here. You have to play a class that can simultaneously handle all 3. So for a speedrun, the choices naturally narrow down to Demo, since Sticky Spam can deal with all of the above, and he can also move the fastest with sticky jumping. There might hypothetically be a way to improve on this if there was maybe a way to quickly swap to Sticky Jumper after capping for point 2, but I couldn't figure it out. First, I tried juggling a dropped weapon to the gate. This itself isn't too hard, you can definitely get a hang of the juggling rhythm. The problem though is that juggling to the gate takes so long that you don't have time to also do the dance that gets a medic to follow you out. This is because on top of the time it takes to juggle them, you're also delayed by the respawn timer. When you pick up a dropped weapon in spawn, it disappears instead of juggling. So you need to drop your weapon outside of spawn, which means you have to walk outside and killbind. There might be a super fancy way of kill binding, such that you are still inside spawn, so you can skip the respawn timer, but your weapon rolls outside of spawn. But I couldn't find a way to do this. But what if you really can do both? I had to swap off demo, but for science, I gave it a shot on Soldier. Soldier is a class that bots actually respect. So what you can do is suicide outside of spawn as soon as the game starts. When you respawn, call medic so they follow you, and make your way to the gate with your guns. From here, it's simple. Just play Soldier and kill everyone. Then rocket jumper to the last point. The only catch is that you need to be mindful of the rocket jumper's 30-second despawn timer to refresh it before it disappears. But this didn't work, and it wasn't skill issue. The problem is that on this point, your bots will walk into the red Ubers right out the gates and turn into dust. They are zero help, so you have to do absolutely everything. But Soldier doesn't have the tools to take down a whole team, ultimately making this an unworkable strategy. You have an Uber to take down the 2 sentry guns, but that usually takes up the entire Uber, and your team is also dead by the time the Uber ends. So you have to fight all of red team at once, which is very hard. This isn't absolutely undoable. You could slowly chunk the red team down, but that's not a speedrun anymore. So Soldier didn't work out. So that's what I settled on for the 3 Dustbowl stages. It's demo all the way down. I never did a complete proper run, but here is vaguely how it would go if I cared to grind out a run. I gave up on doing a real run, because for it to be speedrun leaderboard accepted, I would have to reload the game from the menu every attempt, and you can't speed up the game to skip setup time, so it's just so much waiting. There are also so many ways for the bots to randomly decide to ruin your run, which makes the amount of grinding needed even worse. Besides Dustbowl, I also tried out the other game modes, but they weren't as interesting. For KOF, I tried Badlands, and this wasn't hard, but I also only improved it by a tiny amount. The current world record starts capping the point as soon as possible with 5 on the point, never loses the point, and avoids overtime. I did the same but with 6. But the time saved from that is almost nothing. When the game starts, I quickly jump on point to trap this part of the slope, which is where the bots pass through, and generally aim to kill the enemy bots as quickly as possible to keep as many of my own bots alive as possible to cap. And that's it. Not sure there's much more you can do on this map. And the last map I tried was Barnblitz, which was very tedious. The world record plays spy here, and it makes sense. You can walk out the gate and stab everyone, drop the Ubers, and get the cart moving sooner than any other class. The problem is that a good run is entirely on whether red team happens to position themselves in a way that's good for backstabbing. You want the medics to be furthest back so you can stab them without other bots noticing, who could then kill you, to get rid of their Ubers so they don't delay the cart. But oftentimes, they'll be pressed against your front door, or next to the rock, or in the middle of the pack, and this makes it hard to kill them. So you'll have to constantly reset, hoping red team happens to do what you want. The rest of the run after that isn't too hard, it's just killing the bots as soon as possible so they don't touch the cart. So overall, Barnblitz is resetting over and over, hoping for bot randomness to be in your favor, and making sure you don't mess up the rest of the run. So yeah, TF2 would go so hard if you could play against other real living humans. Hopefully Valve sees this. On Barnblitz, you can press your face against the gate, and it can sometimes freak the red demo into deading his stickies. This is cool, but on even rarer occasions, the demo can accidentally kill himself. On Dustbowl Stage 3, Soldier was also hard because bot engineers don't collide with their own buildings. This allows them to sit inside the sentry, becoming unhittable. So your only choice is to dump everything into the sentry and hope it dies.
I think honestly I need to protect my teammates. That's probably what I need to do. I need to like kill these people. Dude, save me. Oh, are you fucking kidding me?